Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I do appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so please, if you can, just like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would definitely appreciate it, you guys. Yes, this video is going to be pretty good. We're going to be reacting to Anton Daniels again, but this time it is going to be about Zelensky not bending the knee to Trump after much controversy for the last meeting that they had, where he was kicked out of the White House for disrespecting President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. So let's get into it.
Hours after Donald Trump abruptly paused all U.S. military aid to Ukraine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling his Oval Office spat with the president regrettable. In a new post on X, he reiterates Ukraine's commitment to peace.
Okay, so let's see what this says here. So this is from Volodymyr Zelensky saying, "I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace. None of us wants an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace at last." We'll see about that, considering everything that's happened before.
Writing, quote, "None of us wants an endless war." He adds that Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table. And although Zelensky doesn't use the post to directly apologize to Trump, as some White House officials have argued he should do, he did express his gratitude for U.S. support, something he has done frequently, including during an address to Congress the first time he visited the United States as president of Ukraine after Russia invaded the country. White House officials say the pause in aid will stand until President Trump determines Zelensky is serious about working out a peace plan and a path to end the war with Russia. Losing assistance from the United States, especially its Patriot missile defense system, could have dire consequences for Ukraine. The Prime Minister of Ukraine says it's the only tool the country has to protect itself from Russian ballistic missiles. Joining us now to discuss is retired U.S. Army Major Mike Lyons. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. Right off the bat, what is the effect of this pause in U.S. aid to Ukraine on the battlefield?
Okay, now I have a few theories. So before I even let this man answer this question, please, you guys, drop any theories that you guys may have out there as to the real reason as to why there is a pause on the aid to Ukraine. My theory is that because I've been hearing some speculations about Zelensky not actually using the funds to truly fund his war. So apparently he's been like going out spending all this money, and then the military weapons that America has given to them, they've been selling them on the black market. So they haven't actually been using them towards the war. So that's just speculation. So I have a theory as to that might be the reason as to why. And then also I have my second theory is that they're losing the war, and it doesn't really matter how much money we're giving to them. It's like Russia is beating them, like they have no more army men to be able to fight, at this point. And if it were me, and it is my money at the end of the day, it is my taxpayer funds that is funding their cause or whatnot. If I sense that they're losing, I stop spending money to them, because it's like, you're losing. There's no point in giving you any more money. That's just my humble opinion. But just drop your comments in the comment section below and let me know how you guys feel about this and what your theory is as to the real reason as to why they are pausing aid to Ukraine.
Well, Boris, I don't see any positive outcomes from this change here. I think tactically, I always look through the eyes of the soldier and how they view this. And I think if they get this news at the front lines, they're going to be disappointed in the United States. I think right now the front lines are focused on drone warfare as well as artillery fire and artillery ammunition. So if you're a cannoneer on the front lines, you're looking at that pallet of ammunition behind you, wondering if it's going to be replaced. So I think in some ways the tactical implications are somewhat limited, and they might not be impactful for the next few weeks. But over time, as air defense platforms degrade, and they'll shoot missiles down, and they're shooting things down that they're not being reinforced there. I think there's going to be real problems with the Ukraine military trying to keep up to what's going on.
So, long story short, a lot more lives are going to be lost because you were so arrogant to where you felt like it was conducive to disrespect the president of the United States of America and the vice president and the taxpayers and American citizens right in the Oval Office, and you wanted to make a spectacle instead of coming there to do what you're supposed to do. And what I found is that I have no pride when it comes to doing the things that's best in the best interest of my daughter. I would never compare, the things that you've seen and experienced, or the people that you run into, or people that you could possibly beef with on the street to what's happening in Ukraine. But in order for me to, break it down from a C student's perspective, because that's how my brain works, I like to, use the example of if I get into a situation, or, I run into somebody, or somebody makes a mistake and hits my shoulder, or they step on my shoes, or, I see some tough guys that honestly I'm always carrying and I'm always strapped. And it doesn't mean that I could just exact something against somebody, but what it does is it protects me in a worst case scenario to ensure, hopefully, that I come out alive, or that I can defend myself against the worst possible threat, or somebody just getting overly egregious, or they drunk, or whatever, right? But if something happens, often at times, even if it's not my fault, just to show respect, because my goal is to get home at night, not to continue to have a confrontation, I will apologize and walk away. I will absolutely apologize, even if it's not my fault, because I might have my girl with me, I might have my daughter with me. I don't need nothing coming up and hurting them. And the one thing that they teach you in CPL class is, do everything that you possibly can to get out of a confrontation. And it may not even be for your safety, it may be for their safety.
Exactly. I believe he is cooking right now, so I would like to let him continue. However, he is correct. I think in a lot of these, even in martial arts and things like that, like they even teach you, of course, you have to utilize it to defend yourself. But if you can try to find any way to get out of it, you should. Because at the end of the day, when you do get in a tussle, when you do fight and things like that, it can get pretty dangerous because you're getting wild. You know what I mean? And things can possibly happen. You can hurt someone so bad you can put them in a concussion. It could be all kinds of stuff that can go down. And yeah, you want to protect your family. Now, when in Zelensky's situation, I believe that he's in a situation where he's in a big fight with a really, really big bully. We'll say that, right? This bully decided to invade in his country. So he's trying his best. He's doing his best. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes down to that he is trying his best to diffuse the situation, so to speak. However, the way he tried to go about it was all kinds of wrong. Okay? All wrong. He already has billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of our money that's already been given to him. We've also given him a lot of our older equipment, military weapons to use against Russia, and they're still losing. He's already lost over 40,000 men in his army. It's getting lower and lower by the day of them fighting in the front lines. So they're losing in that regard too. So he's just losing all around. So now there is an opportunity for him to truly put a stop to it now that Trump is in office. And he has an opportunity to really call for peace. But that meeting, if we all saw it, we all saw his behavior, his demeanor, everything. And Zelensky overstepped his boundaries. Absolutely. He overstepped. He wasn't appreciative of what we've already done for him in his country. And then on top of that, has the nerve to disrespect the president and the VP, and regardless of how anyone feels about the president. Because I understand a lot of people don't feel any type of way about him, but really look at the situation at hand. These are all of our taxpayer dollars going to this country, and they're losing. And he didn't help himself in that last interview with Trump. He didn't help himself at all. In fact, he sat there and he was very arrogant He didn't really care too much about anything else except for still wanting and trying to gain as much money as he can. It just, none of that seemed helpful at all. And now it looks like he's trying to ask, well, he's not asking for forgiveness. He's not bending the knee to anyone apparently, but he's still trying. He feels regretful for the situation, but no, I don't believe that. Not at all. I think he knows he's losing. He's trying to find ways of helping, but he still wants to seem like this. What's the term? Pompous. He still wants to seem like he's the big tough guy, and he's not going to be the one. So much pride. He's not going to be the one to apologize, even though he needs to, because he dug himself in this hole, and it's not going to look good for Ukraine. It's just not.
But do everything you can to possibly prevent yourself from having to pull your pistol. That's what they tell us. And I look at this situation with Zelensky, now not having the munitions to even be able to protect themselves and not preserving Ukrainian lives with a ceasefire and being serious about coming to the table with a deal. I just seen a video of Zelensky addressing Ukrainians, and he still hasn't apologized. This is pride. This is pure pride. And anybody that supports this, you show me exactly how you move. You show me why I shouldn't be hanging out with you. You show me why it's important for you to be careful of who you keep in your circle, because you might have a Zelensky amongst you.
To your point about seeking...
That's real. That's very real. I definitely agree with that. See, I know if I make a mistake, if I say something that was wrong, even I know I apologize for it, because it's called holding yourself accountable. It's not even just pride. It's also holding yourself accountable. And Zelensky it looks like he's just not that type of individual, man, to be able to hold himself accountable for why he's losing this war. He's losing this war more than just the whole interview situation. He's losing this war due to a lot of bad decision making he's made while this has been going on between him and Russia. It's just crazy.
That next pallet of ammunition, how much longer do you think Ukraine has to sustain that artillery and ballistic missile defense without U.S. help?
Well, they likely have months, not necessarily weeks. And as again, they've built some defenses up themselves. But what will happen is Russia will look to go on the offensive and try to break through in certain areas and weaken Ukraine defenses and force them to play economy of force missions and to reinforce areas where they might not want to. It'll clearly keep them on the defense. We just also know specifically what this means, the fact that we're not giving military support. You've got European soldier commands training Ukrainian soldiers in Vilsek and Grafenwehr and places. Does that mean that training stops for them as well? What about intel? What about other things that the United States has been providing? So again, there's a short-term impact. What will happen tactically on the ground? Obviously, we know the strategic impacts over the long run. Ukraine would be able to sustain any kind of defenses against Russia if this lasts very much longer.
How far do you think European backing, the EU's backing, can go without that backstop of the United States?
Unfortunately, the European industrial base, it won't crank up fast enough to help Ukraine. It's going to take a year or so in order for some of the more advanced European defense contractors to provide any kind of material that will help Ukraine. The United States has the war footing right now with the amount of artillery ammunition that we're supplying with them. It's increased over the past few years. And Europe won't be able to backstop that. So that's where there's a race against time right now.
Now you guys heard that, right? Europe is going to take a while for them to even get the military weaponry that they'll need to help with Russia, and they only got a few months left, really, of whatever ammunition and weaponry that they have or defenses that they have currently. That says a lot. And then also, if you guys took a look, there is a chart out there, and I'm going to pull it up in a second, where you can actually see just how much America provides when it comes down to NATO in and of itself. We provide a lot of money, over 70% of monies into NATO in and of itself. So that says a lot. Okay, so I'm going to pull that chart up in just a second, okay?
The United States needs to continue to support Ukraine, at least right now for these negotiations. Look, Donald Trump doesn't know whether Russia wants to stop. He knows he wants Ukraine to stop. He knows he wants the war to stop, but we don't know whether he knows Russia wants to stop. And I think this mineral deal will help put in implied security assurances for Ukraine. But the question is going to be, what are Russian demands in order for Ukraine to stop? They might be too much, and perhaps this will cause this administration to turn around and send more military aid to Ukraine, as the Russians still have a voice as to whether or not this conflict will end as well.
Doesn't seem likely. I'm hearing that Russia actually has a proposal to stop the war, and what's happening next is we just need somebody to come to the table from Zelensky's side to apologize, make things right, and then ultimately sign a mineral rights deal, which then led to the ceasefire so that you can negotiate a longer term deal. And then you go from there. But again, I think that pride comes before a fall. And Trump is like, all right, listen, we're not just going to continue to supply you and give you money. We not no side chick. You are not our dependent. And so we got to put America first, and we got to do the thing that's in the best interest of America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. We do. We need to start thinking more about us. It's time to start putting Americans first. It's about time. We cannot continue to live like this anymore, you guys. Okay? This is this is real. I mean, if we're going to do anything at this point, if we're going to give any money to any country, we need to get some stuff in return at this point. How many times have we heard in the news, you guys, that we have sat up here and gave millions of dollars to a bunch of different countries and have not received anything in return? What have we actually gotten in return for any of the money that we've given? Mind you, if this is money that's being taken from our paychecks without our permission, it's just automatically taken, automatically. So what on earth are we doing here at this point? Okay. No, I think it's time to put us first. And if Zelensky wants to take more of our money or take more of our weaponry or whatever have you, you need to give up some stuff. So yeah, sign the minerals deal, give a peace treaty, end this war, let's end it, and let's come back to peace times. Okay? Because I don't think anybody is taking this, anybody wants this war anymore. Not even Ukrainians want this war anymore at this point. All right, so let's get into the comment section here. And let's see what the good old people are saying here. All right, let's take a look. Let me pull that up for you guys. All right, so as you can see, I have subscribed to his channel because Anton Daniels is absolutely amazing. Also, I'm going to like it. Bam, here you go. And then I'm also sharing this on my platform. So I would love for you guys to do the same for me, to please subscribe and to please like my channel and also share to your other platforms. Thank you, much appreciated. All right. So let's see here. Okay, we starting off with some jokes. Why is Zelensky always dressed like a New Yorker? Okay. Mind you guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I did not care for what he dressed like. Okay, now I know that they made a big deal about it, like, hey, why didn't you come in a suit and whatnot and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm all for the professionalism, but it's like, I don't care too much about how you dress in that regard. Like, if you dress crazy, then yeah, I'd care. But he's dressed all in black. I don't see what the issue was with his outfit. Like, I didn't really care too much for all that. I really didn't. Like, now some people do feel some type of way about that. They do feel like you need to come presentable and you do need to come correct with how you dress. I get that. But me, I honestly just didn't care too much. That wasn't my primary concern. My concern was how he talked to our president and vice president. Now that was something else. Let's see what we got here. No, we don't need to support Ukraine. We need to worry about our own problems. That is not hard to comprehend. These politicians are comfortable where they live, but not our fellow Americans in North Carolina and Los Angeles. Matter of fact, everywhere in America. We need to shut these fools like him up because we're the ones that's paying their salary. Woo, okay. That's called pride. Pride comes before the fall. So you got a lot of people in the comments who are really, really feeling some type of way about Zelensky. Okay, come on now. This is how women act. You know you wrong treating him in his country. Other way around, he would have flipped out. Just be a man and take accountability. I don't like the beginning of it, but I do agree that he does need to take accountability. Not all women act like this. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Not today. I'm not in the mood for it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oompa Loompa overplayed his hand and sealed the fate of Ukraine. Glad it played out in front of the press for all the world to see. Let's not be disrespectful, people, calling people Oompa Loompas and whatnot. We're not going to do that. Okay, we're not going to do that today. But yeah, I'm also really happy that I saw everything play out because now we get to see what Zelensky is truly all about and who we are giving our money to. And now we can see what time it is, what time they're on, what time he's on. Okay. Now we see it for what it is, and it ain't pretty. I'll tell you that. Look at that. All right. So we got a lot of people in the comment section who are definitely talking about this. So yeah, this is something that we need to consider, you guys. This is something that we really need to get into. All right. Yeah, this is something we really need to talk about, you guys. This is something that we need to think about for the future of our country. We have there's a lot of countries out there that disrespect the U.S. They don't care for the U.S. and they do their best to bring us down or try to take our money or all of that. So we need to really, really pay closer attention to what we're doing and how we're handling our money and who we're giving it to. So you guys, please put your opinions, thoughts, everything into the comment section, you guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Love you. Peace.